Once there was a young dreamer, full of hope and ambition. They set out on a path to achieve their dream, determined and ready. But soon, the first obstacle appeared, a challenge bigger than expected. They tried to climb, pushing with all their might, but they stumbled. Failure struck, and they questioned whether they were strong enough. But deep inside, they knew they couldn't give up yet. They picked themselves up, dusted off the doubts, and tried again. The mountain seemed as high as before, but now they were more determined. They broke the journey into small steps, one at a time. With each step, they felt stronger, more capable. But once again, a setback occurred. The path grew steeper. For a moment, they thought about quitting. But a new thought emerged. They remembered why they started and the dream that still burned within. They stood up once again, determined to conquer the challenge. The climb was long and tiring, but they pushed through. Soon the obstacles seemed less daunting, and their confidence grew. The dream was getting closer, but not without hard work. They stumbled again, this time on something they hadn't seen coming. For a moment they lay there, asking themselves, "Is this worth it?" But then they remembered the strength they had built so far. Determined, they stood again, focusing on each small movement. Each time they faced failure, they learned more about their own power. They understood now that resilience wasn't just about success, but about perseverance. One day they reached the summit, but not without scars and lessons. The view from the top was breathtaking, but it wasn't just about the view. It was about how far they had come, how much they had grown. The dream they once thought was out of reach was now in their grasp. But even then, they knew the journey wasn't over. New challenges lay ahead, but they were no longer afraid. They had learned that the strength lies not in avoiding failure, but in embracing it. They became a symbol of persistence, inspiring others to never give up. And they knew that the next challenge would only make them stronger. Failure was no longer feared, but welcomed as part of the journey. For every failure, there was a lesson, and every lesson led to growth. They no longer saw failure as defeat, but as an opportunity to rise again. And with each rise, they grew stronger, wiser, and more determined. They understood now that every setback was simply a setup for a comeback. They learned to trust in their ability to overcome whatever came their way. The dream was no longer a distant star, but a reality they were living. They helped others along the way, sharing their journey of resilience. They knew that the road ahead was uncertain, but they were ready. Their resilience had transformed them into someone who never gives up. The dream was just the beginning. The true victory was in the journey itself. They had learned that true strength comes from within, from the will to never quit. And with that, they realized the power of resilience would never leave them. Their story became a beacon for others who needed hope. They became living proof that resilience always leads to success. And as they stood tall, they knew the journey never truly ends, for the resilient never stop rising, and their story will inspire generations to come. They found strength not just in victories, but in every small step they took. In the quiet moments, they reflected on how far they had come. The road was long, but their inner drive was unstoppable. They learned that true success isn't measured by the destination, but by the journey itself. With each setback, they grew more resourceful, finding solutions where there seemed to be none. They realized that failure was not the end, but a part of the process. Each challenge was an opportunity to build resilience and character. They began to inspire others who were struggling, showing them the power of perseverance. The mountain ahead no longer seemed insurmountable. They had already climbed many others. In the face of adversity, they found courage, and courage became their ally. They began to see every challenge as an opportunity to grow stronger. They realized that the hardest battles led to the greatest victories. Their journey was a testament to the power of persistence, and it had no end. They understood that resilience is a muscle, and like any muscle, it gets stronger with use. Now, with every failure, they saw it as just another opportunity to rise,